Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tutorials. First of all, you may notice that now I'm talking here, and that's because, well, let's just say I don't want to edit a video. It takes, forever to get all that text in. So, yeah, I'm going to be talking in tutorials from now on. My other videos will still be the normal. Anyways, first off, from the title, you may be wondering, what is a transformation pad? Well, I've never seen a transformation pad used in a marble race. Because I believe not really, but most people just don't know how to use it, and when they do, it's hard to mess up. So today I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to make a simple transformation pad. And now nobody's ever called it a transformation pad, and what it is it's just something that turns your marble and it converts it into a square, a pentagon, a heptagon, whatever you want it to be. So now, first things first, we need to make our pad. So I will make this pad. The next thing, we need to make a place where the marbles will generate, and this can be where you want, but I'm gonna make it over here for now, and there's a reason I'm doing this, and you'll see in just a second. First, let's make this object though. Okay, now to customize the pad. Now we cannot directly change the body variable of the marble, and if we even could, that would be even harder because body is different for different colors. So, and we couldn't even change the tracers at that point because tracers don't collide. So basically there in fact is a way to change the tracers, but it's really advanced and I don't want to go into that right now. Neither do I know how to do that very well, and I've never tried that either. So, fact straight, I'm not doing that. So, how we're going to do this is we're going to destroy the marble that touches it and create a new marble. I'll get to tracers in just a second. We can use the function scene dot add. For now, we'll be doing a box, by the way, and I'll show you how to use pentagons and heptagons later. Scene dot add box, and then we'll include our two angle brackets. Now let's see what this does first of all. That was unprecedented. And no, I was precedented. I knew that this was going to happen. And yes, but for you it was probably unprecedented. Because whenever you generate a box without any parameters, it generates the defaults. So it just generates a 1 meter by 1 meter box at the position 0, 0. And the reason it was generating so many boxes was because you'll see if I extend this over here by 1, you'll see what happens. More boxes generate, and that's just because whenever a box falls down, it touches this pad. It was touching this pad. Well, if we keep it to here, it won't do that. No, okay, that's good. And now the next step, we need to define our parameters. So scene dot add box, and we'll say color equals e dot other dot color. But now, okay, that's good. Now let's test it. Wait, why did that box turn red, sorry. Well, that's because color equals e.other.color. It's not only setting the new box, it's also setting this box. To fix this, we need to put a colon in front of this. And keep in mind, I'll include all the code for this after. But the last thing I want you doing is directly copying the code, because you need to understand what you are doing. You can't just, oh, here's the code, copy this, and then go. Perfect. Well, what happens if you want to customize this box, this pad? So I will show you how to customize it right after we get in the basics done. Okay, now that's fixed, we can go size equals, because if we take a look at this object size, we can see it's 0.25, 0.0625, since it's a quarter. That's how big my pads usually are. So if we extend the smaller number 4 times, we can get the size of the box we want. size equals to 0.25, 0.25, and this is one of the things you'll need to change. And again, if we have to remember to put that colon in. Okay, this is better now. I mean, but there are still multiple. Okay, now, but there are still multiple red boxes. So we need to change that, and outside of the scene.addBox function, we'll need to say e.other.time to live equals to 0. So now it will kill that object and instead spawn another red box. Now we want to spawn it to this, and keep in mind scene.my.post1 is what that was. So we'll just need to say pos equals to scene.my.post1. Yep, and then what's even worse was I forgot to include the colon. Perfect. Now we may be asking, what about tracers? We need tracers. And see, the code for adding a tracer is not scene.addTracer. It's scene.addPen. So we'll need to use scene.addPen. But first, we need to take note of one thing. The tracer has two very important positions that we need, variables, not positions, that we need to define. One of them is position. The second one is geom. Geom is the object, the geom ID of the object that's attached to. But here's the thing, a different colored object will have a different geom ID. For example, if we take a look at this red circles, red marble geom ID, we see that it's 15. But if we clone the red marble and we set the color to cyan, or that works too, but okay. Now we see that the geom ID is 4140. That's a big difference. So that's why we need to set another variable in here. And we don't need it to be a global variable, we just need it to be a variable inside onCollide. So watch, I'm going to type new box. This is just a variable. Colon equals to scene.addBox. So new box will be that box that's created. Now we will use a scene.addPen function. .addPen. Go back into those brackets. I'll type geom equals to new box dot geom ID, and I will type another thing saying post equals to new box dot pus. And now we can see, okay, I keep forgetting about this because, okay, now that's fine, but we see we still have a lot of work to do on this tracer because we need to set the size. And keep in mind, tracers don't have a radius, they have a size. So yeah, we're going to have to set size, and size is the diameter. So we'll set size to 0.25. In addition to this, we'll be setting color. Okay. Colon, we have to run the colon. And then now, perfect. But we note that the tracer's in front of the box. So we'll just need to set z depth equals to 100. Why don't we just go through 1,000? I'm not going to have 1,000 polygons. Never mind, shoot. It should be 0. I keep forgetting that. There. but now you notice that tracer is forever. So we'll need to set another variable in the tracer, and we'll need to say fade time. I believe it's called fade time, at least. Fade time equals 0.20. Sorry for any background noise, but that's what happens when you talk and have a microphone. Perfect. Now so let's make a marble race first of all. I'm gonna keep things simple because there's still something I need to show you. So I'm just gonna make a simple bowl as of right now. And let's get this object out of the way. New object to be black. And then let's zoom in and make our bowl. Yeah, bowl. So I'll keep it like that. Bunch. Then does glue to background. And then of course, we should also set another box here. Perfect. And now shoot, I forgot I got rid of that object with post 1. So another quick way to do this stuff is just to create a box, and we'll just copy the position, Control C, scene.my.post1 equals 2, and we'll type that in. Now you can delete this box. So now, teleport to there. Now let's take a look at what happens in a second. Well, first of all, I'm going to do something here, and I'm going to enlarge this so I can actually show you. And then I'm going to have this, because we'll be going till here. And now you can see, now I want to show you something. That was unprecedented. That's not my point. What am I? Here. This should give you a better idea of what I'm trying to say. There are two solutions to this. One, you can just set every single material to friction equals to 0, and you can even do this in defaults. We can even do this in defaults, and we can just set friction equals to 0. Because when we set friction equals to 0, then it will be able to slide down. That's one way, but I'm going to show you another way that's even better. At least in my opinion. Actually, the first way might be better, but I find this way more interesting. Set post step equals 2, and we'll type angle equals to 0. So now, keep in mind when you do this though, you won't be able to gravity pads won't work on this. Anything relating to post step. Instead, you'll have to change them to e.other.update instead of post step, so that it doesn't interfere with the post step script. But yeah, well, this is also useful. Now that's part 1, and now I'm going to be showing you part 2. The next step will be modifying this for a triangle. So we'll just here's the trick part about triangles. We'll create a triangle here, and what we're going to do is, you'll see what I'm doing in just this. No, that's not what I want. We can create a triangle here, and you'll see we need to create a triangle. You'll see, because there's no scene.add triangle. it's scene.add polygon, and we'll see there's a surfaces thing variable here, and we can copy all we want. We can copy the text from surfaces, but you see it runs out. So what we'll need to do is get rid of the script menu, just select it and hit Control C. Then delete the object and make a very, 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 very large box. And we'll set the text to be just that. Yikes! What in the world is this? This is what Algodo stores it at. So you'll see we have a surfaces variable here. There's a lot of surfaces for just one triangle. So we'll copy, if you go into the text menu, we'll copy the whole surfaces variable and we'll copy it. Then we can get rid of that box. We can zoom back in, and when we paste it, we're going to change a few things here. It's no longer going to be scene.add box. It will be scene.add polygon. Then instead of size, we will have surfaces. And new box can say the same, I mean, but it would make more sense for you. Like, this works, I mean, but for triangles, I suggest you get rid of this post step script, because things can get weird with that. And then what we can do is we will want to lower the size of this tracer. Why don't we, depending on your shape, I mean, and we can try it like this. Will probably be better. And spinners still work with this. Let me show you. We can still make a good marble race with these. It just makes it more interesting because some shapes are more beneficial than others. And yeah, but especially with bowls, especially when you're using bowls, you won't, and boxes can get stuck in really weird ways. So right before the entrance to a bowl, you should have an object with a script saying e.other.postStep equals to angle equals to 0 in the default script. And you should know how this works because as I said in the last video, for my tutorials, at least for now, you will need to have watched all Algodo and Elbel's tutorials, because those resources are already there and they're very good resources. I don't want to copy those again because my videos won't be as good as those videos. But what I can do is make videos that Algorox and Elbel haven't made. I know some other YouTubers also make tutorials, like Betelgeuse changed his name to Marco's Marbles, but Marco's Marbles has only done 2 tutorials. I still am used to calling him Betelgeuse. Anyways, I'll show you how this can be done. This works the same as anything else. So for example, this works all the same. Or not really all the same, because this should be glued to the background. That's way too slow. Now this can rotate if you set friction to 0. Now I'm going to show you another. Let's say you want to make a pentagon, okay? Well, first of all, why don't we do heptagon? If I try to make a heptagon the size of a marble, it's not going to go so well. First of all, you might do better, but if I try to make a heptagon, that happens. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8. That's an octagon, actually. Yeah, heptagons are not easy to make. So I'm going to show you a neat little tool. Hit the console button and type app.grid.num axes equals to 7. Keep this with the thing. Keep that number the same as the sides of the shape you want to make. Now, yikes! What in the world is this? You may be asking. I don't see any heptagon. Here's the thing. We need to set this to the same size. We need to make it as the same size as the marble. So if we move this over here, this looks same size as marble. So we'll go over here and I'll keep it there. And okay, so we want to follow these lines, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, we're already at 7 sides and we're only halfway through. Why is my mouse moving when I'm not moving it? Anyways, we don't want that to happen. We just want it to be like this. And no, I cannot type app.grid.num axes equals 3.5. That does not work. It has to be an integer. So what will we do here? Just hold the shift key and skip one. And keep in mind you have to move fast. And now we have a heptagon the same size as the marble. And now to get this back into settings, just set it back into axes equals to 2. Axes equals to 2. And again, we can set this back to 4, how I like it, how I see it, how I like it. And now we can see, oh, we have a heptagon. That's nice. Of course that's nice. We just made a perfect heptagon. So now, keep in mind that the reason I did that, because if you resize the heptagon, when it makes the object, it will still be the original size. So that's why you have to make sure that when you first make the heptagon, it has to be the same size as the marble. Okay, now let's make our big box. Control X. I'll take the text and Control V. And the reason you can use Notepad for this, in fact, it's probably easier than this. The reason I'm just using the Algodoo's text function is because when you exit full screen in Algodoo, then it turns off. For some reason, it's a bug with my recording system. So my recording software. So when I exit out of full screen Algodoo, it just stops recording. So that's why I'm using this. And who wants to see a video not in full screen? So now I'll just copy this. And now we can get rid of that. And now we can go into this. And keep in mind, you can modify these. Just make sure you don't have color and color HSVA at the same time. And we'll copy that. You can see it's different. And now if you can see, first of all, these things, what is this doing here? And now that it's currently a heptagon, we can resize the tracer because heptagons have more areas than triangles. So I will set this back to 0.25. In fact, you can do this with any polygon, to be honest. I mean, I don't see any reason why you can't, there's no real reason why you can't make an object that looks like, I don't know, this. I mean, you can turn marbles into basically anything. I mean, I can even turn a marble into that if I want to be honest. Yeah, I'm not joking here. I can turn a marble into that. I mean, I'm not really turning it, but anything works, and you can still build a normal functioning marble race. So these will be used in my next tutorial because I felt like this is something I really want to introduce, and hopefully it would attract viewers. So the next video will be scripted switch. Anyways, thanks for what? Not scripted switch. Sorry, the next video will be TATMR. Actually, I'm not gonna give it away. It's not just gonna be just TATMR. You might know where I'm going with this. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.